Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. A big breaking news is coming in. In a sharp exchange over the ongoing Gaza conflict, Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi and the Israeli envoy to India have issued strongly worded statements reflecting the deeply polarizing global debate on the humanitarian toll of the war. Let's discuss it further. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, in a post she made on social media, accused the Israeli state of committing genocide, alleging that over 60,000 people have been killed in Gaza, including more than 18,000 children. She claimed that hundreds have died of starvation, while millions more now are under threat. You can clearly see the post that she has made being played on the right side of your screen. This is what she has posted on her social media profile X. Now, referring to the Indian government silence, Priyanka Gandhi has also written, let me quote her here, that enabling these crimes by silence and inaction is a crime in itself. It is shameful that the Indian government stands silent as Israel unleashes this devastation on the people of Palestine. Now, in response to this, Israel's ambassador to India, Reuven Azar, dismissed the allegations as quote-unquote shameful deceit. He claimed that 25,000 of those killed were Hamas's terrorists and blamed the group for using civilians as human shields, preventing evacuations and also seizing humanitarian aid. This is the response coming in from Reuven Azar, currently being highlighted on your screen. He also cited figures claiming that Israel has facilitated the delivery of over 2 million tons of food into Gaza and argued that population growth in the region disapproves claims of genocides. His message concluded with, let me quote him here, that don't buy Hamas numbers. Let's discuss this further. Senior Executive Editor of TV9 Network, Aditya Raj Kaul, is joining us on the broadcast. Aditya, good afternoon to you. Considering the strategic partnership that at the moment we share with Israel, such comments coming in from a very tall opposition figure of India, will that actually hit the partnership that we are enjoying with Israel?
Well, that's right. This is certainly not in good taste that Priyanka Gandhi, without any evidence, has now hit out at Israel, blaming Israel for committing a so-called genocide in Gaza, and the Israeli ambassador immediately hitting out, Reuven Azar, in fact, saying that this is a shameful deceit, and Israel has in fact targeted and killed only Hamas terrorists, and often, as is the case, that Hamas uses civilians as shields in Gaza. On the issue of the aid, the food that is going into Gaza from the Israeli side, he has said that 2 million tons of food has been sent to Gaza while Hamas tries to, in fact, hijack the entire aid. We've seen videos of Hamas, in fact, Hamas terrorists firing at the civilians also and taking control of the aid trucks that go into Gaza. So, of course, there's a huge controversy all across the globe on the humanitarian crisis in Gaza right now. Several people have been killed. There's been deadly violence over the last 2 years, ever since the Hamas terror group conducted the most horrific terror attack in southern Gaza, killing more than 1,200 people, most of them Jews. Many of them are still hostages, at least 50 of them. 20 of them remain alive, as per intelligence sources, and we await a hostage deal or some kind of a situation where those hostages will be released. But now, a political slugfest between India's opposition Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and in Israel's ambassador to India, Reuven Azar, who has directly hit out at the Congress MP, saying that her tweet accusing Israel of committing genocide is a shameful deceit, and she is buying into the numbers of Hamas, which are not credible numbers. He also says that the Gaza population has grown by 450% in the last 50 years, so there is no genocide that is being committed there. Earlier also, there have been several reports of Al Jazeera journalists being killed in Gaza, but Israeli authorities and the IDF have put out numbers as well as military IDs of these Al Jazeera journalists who they claim, the Israeli side claims, have been working at the behest of Hamas and Yahya Sinwar for the last several years. So we'll have to wait and watch how things unfold, but this is certainly a big damaging exercise in the wake of India-Israel strategic bilateral partnership going to another level.
All right, Aditya, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast, providing us the details regarding to what exactly has transpired. Let me discuss this further with an expert joining us on the broadcast as well. Former Indian diplomat Ambassador Deepak Vora is joining us on the broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking to News9. So looking at the taste of this tweet that has been done by Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, What are your thoughts on it? What's your opinion? Do you believe that it is also politically charged?
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. Always a pleasure to be with you. While I don't comment on domestic issues, because there is an element of international relations, India's very strong partnership with Israel. Let me tell it to you as it is, ma'am. On the day that Hamas murdered 1,200 innocent Israelis, most of them Jews, that day, ma'am, we were all Jews. There was no justification for what they did, and they haven't given up. Nor have these so-called civilians of Gaza come out and told Hamas, get lost, you are scoundrels, we don't want to deal with you. But this lady who once upon a time showed up somewhere wearing a bag that said Palestine, she, I believe, without any disrespect to the lady, is trying to get political capital out of the fact that while the government of India and the government of Israel, India and Israel, are great friends, by opposing this, by criticizing Israel, I can gain some political traction, some political mind, and certainly I can get on your TV9 network. Now, ma'am, the Israeli ambassador is absolutely right, spot on, that where do you get these figures from? Over 60,000 people. Ma'am, did anybody go and count them? Or is it just what the the so-called Hamas regime administration in Gaza is saying? Why not 60,000? Why not 600,000? Why not 6 million? 6 million Jews were killed by a character called Adolf Hitler. So, ma'am, these are very sensitive issues. Instead of parroting the figures, we have the same thing with our neighbor. Oh, there is genocide in Kashmir, 50,000 killed, and then it becomes 500,000 killed, then it becomes 5 million killed. This goes on and on without anybody producing even a shred of evidence. So my request to our politicians, whoever they are, I've been ambassador in 6 countries. I'm 52 years in diplomacy counting. I'm 74 years now. Don't do this. Don't try and make hay by shining a dark light on India's friendship with other countries. Do what you have to, but why should what is happening in Gaza, why does it concern you so much? The world knows what is happening. We have expressed our opinion. The world has expressed its opinion. There's a racket in New York called the Security Council. They have expressed their opinion. Why should we make it a bilateral political issue, not between India and Israel, between one party in India and the other? And let me assure you, ma'am, the relationship with, I've been there, the relationship with Israel is so strong that whatever these people who are unhappy with it, whatever they say, it's not going to impact our bilateral relationship at all.
Absolutely. So, something that I have also highlighted is that we at the moment are enjoying a very strong strategic partnership with the Israel. As far as the conflict between Israel and Gaza is concerned, sir, from the very beginning, India has remained on its stance that we are the advocate for peace and we will continue to remain that. We don't want to take anybody's side here, right? But apart from that, if I could ask you in this particular case, the recent war of words that has erupted, what's a diplomatic calculus in navigating these politically charged tensions?
I think we would have explained to the Israelis, and they understand. They have a very bright ambassador here. We have an outstanding ambassador in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. We would have told the Israelis, look, this is not at all reflective of public opinion in India. This is the opinion of one opposition leader and maybe a handful of others, maybe some members of the Islamic community in India. But by and large, the people of India, ma'am, we have suffered this ourselves. We've suffered this in Mumbai. You might recall 26/11. We've suffered this before. We've suffered this in Kashmir. We've most recently, suffered this in Pahalgam, where 26 of our people, including one Nepali, 25 Indians, one Nepali, were murdered on the basis of their religion. Is this what Hamas was doing? And I recall seeing some videos of a Hamas terrorist who was dragging an almost dead, I'm sorry I have to say this, aap hamari beti ki umar ke hain, but I just have to say it, dragging a dead Israeli woman's corpse in his truck, and he was violating the corpse and screaming Allahu Akbar and so on. And then he calls his mother and says, I'm calling you from the dead Yehudi woman's mobile. And the mother says, Shabash mere lal aur ko maar. What kind of arrant nonsense is this? If there is any attempt being made to commit genocide, and I say this with great consideration, ma'am, after reflecting on this, if there is an attempt being made to commit genocide, it is through demographic aggression against the Israelis. The Israeli state, the Israeli population growth is very limited because the women are educated, they want to work, etc., etc. But on the other side, it's just go on producing children as much as you can. This is a challenge that Israel facing. Let me tell you, ma'am, my heart goes out to the people of Israel. The hostages are still there. So many years have passed. Why don't they return the hostages? If they are not alive, well, return the bodies. What kind of nonsense is this that is going on? And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, whatever accusations you make against him, he's doing it for his political survival, etc. I believe, having listened to him, having shaken hands with him once, I believe he is doing it not for his own survival, but for the survival of the Jewish people.